Hello and welcome. We're flipping houses today. Let's get into it. So, I just started recently a new playthrough of House Flipper. We're starting with the Camping Bungalow. I'm always very inspired by the name of this property. Like, it's the Camping Bungalow. So, even though it looks like it's in, I don't know, a suburb or something, I really like treating it like it's for camping, like it's out in the middle of nowhere. And I'm just starting with like cleaning it up and, removing any weeds, mowing the lawn, cleaning up the outside a little bit. I'll get back to the outside later, but I just want to get the main stuff done. Sell all of the trashy things inside, and I'm gonna bust down some walls because I had a vision this time. Sometimes I try to work with the existing floor plan for this one, but this time I really had a vision for how I wanted to change up the layout. And I had a very specific inspiration for like the vibe of this house, because I've been watching way too many like Scandi-noir TV shows, and I swear, like every Scandi-noir show, there's an episode where they need to interrogate someone or whatever who is staying out in their hunting cabin. I think that's in like super isolated Norway or something. And I was just very inspired by the hunting cabins that they have in these shows. So it's like I want to do something that's kind of like rustic, little bit Scandinavian inspired, but also kind of log cabin-y. So right now I'm working on the bathroom. I did tile everywhere except one wall. I'd started with an accent tile and then I swapped that out for like a shiplap because I just wanted a different kind of texture. So you can see it better with the lights on. Those are like my favorite lights. I love them. I went back and forth quite a bit on the bathtub. I knew the exact type of bathtub I wanted, and I built the bathroom so that it would be exactly the right size to fit that bathtub. But I went back and forth a few times on what wood color I wanted. So I don't think this is even the tub that I wind up sticking with. I believe I swap it out again. But yeah, I just wanted kind of a rustic Scandi vibe. Very, very small, not something that you would be living in full time, but just like your little cabin in the woods that you could escape to for a while. Not necessarily because the police are after you and you don't want to answer their questions about your illegitimate child who's a domestic terrorist, but just an escape in general. So yeah, see, swapping out the tub because I just could not decide exactly which wood tones I wanted to use. I wound up going with a floating sink, which I like never do. I like having cabinets under the sink for storage, but I just really felt like this was the vibe I was looking for. And with how small that bathroom is, a cabinet would just make it feel so closed off. Like I felt like we needed that little bit of open space. I have my favorite little custom content rug. I have been hitting up the Steam workshop for this game so hard. It's like the rug and the basket are both from the workshop. And like I've just been finding so much custom content there, and it's a lot. Like, I am a kid in a candy store. I've gone hog wild. I really wanted a hanging mirror, like one where you could see the hanger. I really felt like that was the vibe I wanted. Don't ask me why, I don't know. But yes, lots of inspiration from all these different Scandinoir shows that I've been watching, and some stuff that I found on Pinterest looking for like Scandinavian style and like Scandinavian rustic and just things that aren't minimalist Scandinavian apartment. Because I feel like that's mostly what you see. It's like I really, really wanted to do this shelf of plants. I had some trouble finding enough plants that would fit on it nicely. I really wish they would add more like drapey plants into the game, but I love how that plant shelf turned out. Then I did the sconces that would match those lights that I put over the bathtub. It was a pain trying to place them with that mirror, but again, I love the look. So just putting in all of the little accessories, which the accessories are my favorite part. I'm very pleased with like the basket under the sink because I felt bad about losing storage from not having a cabinet. So the basket helped me feel better. Like you could actually store things in this room. I added shelves so there's even more storage because like you got stuff, you need to put it somewhere. So put extra towels in the basket under the sink. Felt like that was a good fit. And then just like assorted little like bottles, cleaning supplies, paper towels, various like cosmetic products and toilet paper and whatever else you might need for the bathroom there on the shelves over the toilet. Just I love cluttering up a bathroom. Like designing bathrooms, I swear, is my favorite part of this game. Have to include a duck. Like I'm pretty sure that's a law that there has to be a duck. I love trying to make the bathrooms into just a cozy getaway kind of space. Like I want it to be functional, but I also want it to be like a happy place. So even more storage because can't stop, won't stop. Have to put out candles and books. 'Cause if there is open space, I am going to try to fill it with a candle, a book, or a plant. Like that's it. Those are the only options. So like I don't really have a design aesthetic, but I very much have clutter patterns. So got more towels, got a book that you can read in the bathtub. I like to pretend that the canisters that I put next to the bathtub have some sort of like bath salt or something in them. Have the shampoo and conditioner and all that. Could be a sugar scrub too, like a bath salt or a sugar scrub, something like that. But I just want to make it a cozy, relaxing space where you could unwind at the end of a long day, just having a relaxing bath or even just a shower. I can't always fit a bath. But yeah, I love how this bathroom turned out. I'm slightly obsessed. It's just so cozy. It's cluttered, but still feels very clean. And oh, I had to put even more candles because obviously. But yeah, I just feel like it's so... I can't come up with a better word than cozy. It's just cozy, which is all I ever want to design. So I put a door on it, something with a nice strong wood grain. Yeah, just that little bit obsessed. I would love to take a nice relaxing bath in that bathroom. just looks so nice. Put a matching door on the bedroom, so everything's nice and themed, because I already knew I was going to be doing so many like wood tones and panelings and everything. And so I wanted to make sure that there were like groupings of things, so each wood item wouldn't be a completely different tone. Like I had a lot going on in this. I did go in and panel the ceilings with wood paneling, because that was one of the things that I saw in a lot of these rustic cabins that I really wanted to do. I never think to panel the ceilings, and I don't know why. Is it just because I've only been in like too new of houses? Because seems like a lot of older houses have paneling on the ceilings, and it just it has that rustic look that I was looking for, to me at least. So got paneling on the ceiling, and then paneled the floors. I think this is the one I end up going with. Well, rotated, but yeah, so I paneled the floors to match. Beautiful. And well, I think it's beautiful. But yeah, so did wood panel on all of the floors other than the bathroom. I liked that big cream tile that I used in there. Swapped out some windows because I wanted like all of the windows, just great big windows everywhere. And I really like how it winds up. Like, yes, because if I was camping, if this was my getaway, I don't want to have like lots of natural light coming in. I'd want to be able to see outside. Ideally, I would like this to be looking over like a lake or something, and not, a suburban neighborhood, but it's fine. It'll do. Like, just having any kind of getaway is nice. So went through and did this lightwood paneling on the living space, and I kept having to get more of those panels because I kept changing the windows. I cut like all of that out. But here I'm getting started on the kitchen. So again, where I knew I wanted wood tones, I knew that I wanted the sink that has the curtain underneath, because I felt like that had that sort of secondhand style that I was wanting. And just wanted to do like a little kind of U-shaped kitchen with a nice peninsula, so that the kitchen has some separation from the living room, because this is a tiny little space. This is itty bitty. So having the spaces clearly defined and separate from each other was very important for me. I decided to go with bar seating instead of an actual dining room, because again, it's itty bitty. So there was no way that I was going to be able to fit a full-on dining table situation and a living room. It was not going to happen. Put up hanging cabinets. So again, just as much storage as I can reasonably squeeze into this space. Put a little bit of open shelving because I love decorating shelving. Got a teapot. I love cozy, and I wanted this to have very cozy vibes. So like lots of candles and books and plants and little snacks everywhere. So had to have a teapot, and I wind up putting a cup of tea, I think, over by the sofa once there's a sofa. And trying to have lots of practical storage so it does look like a place that you could stay in for like a couple of weeks or even a couple of months and not be miserable. One of my favorite pieces of custom content that I've gotten from the workshop is these hanging herbs. I just love the look of herbs hanging up to dry. I think it's so pretty and just has a living off the land kind of thing going on. Again, I love cluttering my builds. I really want them to look lived in. Like if I'm putting toys in a kid's room, I'm not just putting them on the shelves. They're going to be on the floor. I want it to look like kids have been playing with them. I want the bathroom to look like somebody's getting ready to take a relaxing bath in it. I want the kitchen to look like somebody's been cooking in it. I want the dining tables to look like there's company coming over. Like, I just want all of it to look very homey and lived in, which the game doesn't care if you're doing that. Like, you can just kind of put a bed and a sink and a table in and call it a day, and the game is happy with that. But I need to clutter it. So I've got my cookbooks on a shelf over the paper towel roll. I've got dishes and food items, like pantry stuff, up in the cupboards. I've got pans hanging on the wall. And I love it, personally. You might not love it. It's not quite, like, it's not a style that I would want to live in, but this definitely looks like a vacation rental that I would spring for. And that little, like, braided rag rug on the kitchen floor, that is my style. I love a good handcraft. Then in the bedroom, I did an accent wall behind the bed that is the same kind of paneling that's on the floor and ceiling. Everything else, I did that white shiplap that I used as the accent wall in the bathroom, so that everything's kind of cohesive and the wood tones are sort of moving through the space. I squeezed in a couple of little nightstands and hung lights over them instead of putting lamps on them, just so there'd be like more surface space next to the beds. I snuck some little light switches in next to the bed so that it looks like you could turn the lights off from in bed instead of having to get up and go over to the door. Put some books and some candles, because again, I gotta put books and candles everywhere they will reasonably fit. I hadn't really used these cinnamon candles before, but I really liked them. I put a little cocoa tray because snacks. Again, I just want all of the cozy, and snacks is cozy. Snacks are cozy? I don't know. I can't English. We have it's the same lights and sconces that I used in the bathroom. Have a mirror over the dresser, have a nice plant. More candles, though these ones are custom content from the workshop, so I can't light those, which makes me sad. Just putting some clutter in there so it looks like someone's staying there and everything's nice and decorated. Put a big snake plant in the corner. Did decide to hang some curtains because I figured, as much as I love having the giant windows everywhere, it's the bedroom. You might want some privacy or just to black out the light. Then I'm starting on the living room, and I always struggle so much with living rooms. Like, I don't know why, but I just really struggle with living rooms. I feel like maybe it's because something like the bathroom is really just your space and is just needs to be optimized for you. but the living room is really for company and is how you're presenting your space to the world. And that's just so much pressure. But I put in like a nice white couch, more of a love seat really, because again, it's a small space. I really wanted to use these crate bookshelves because again, I was going for like a secondhand, kind of thrifted vibe for a lot of it. I really, again, wanted it to look like it's your little vacation getaway. Like you've probably furnished it with things that you've moved out of your own home. Or like instead of putting them in the basement, you put them in the cabin. Have to have the fluffy rug. Like always have to have the fluffy rug. And then, yeah, I put a tissue box and a nice cup of tea next to the couch. Remembered that I had not put curtains or blinds in the bathroom and that that's a problem. So I hung a nice blind curtain, whatever, in there. Ooh, and then this is another one of those custom content things that I'm obsessed with. I found these covers for the fire pits. So instead of it just being like a bowl, you can have like a stone ring around it. So wanted to do like a bonfire area, wanted to put a pond behind the house and just make it feel a little bit country, like you're out in the woods. Struggled finding a rug that would fit the bedroom, wound up with an ugly Christmas sweater rug, which chat insisted was appropriate for all seasons. So went with that. I tucked a little blanket in under the nightstand too. So there's an extra blanket next to the bed. Put a basket of pillows next to the love seat. And just, again, adding candles everywhere. Candles will reasonably fit. More hanging plants. I wound up adding this wood burning stove because I'd taken all the radiators out. And so I wanted something that could heat the place because I felt like it looks like you might stay there during the winter. But I didn't want to put radiators in. So I went with the wood burning stove and just after moving the trash can, tried to hide it with a giant plant. Put a hammock out in the yard with a glass of family-friendly juice on a table next to it and a nice book. I put a bunch of like stacks of firewood out by the fire pit because figured you'd need that for the fire pit, but also there's a wood burning stove inside, so you're going to want to have extra firewood. Went and put a bunch of plants around the pond because I just wanted that to be very overgrown. Landscaping is not my strong suit, but I really tried here. I tried to get a nice variety of like shapes and heights and colors into it. And then I started paneling the outside, and I wanted to go with like a really dark wood, and I do think that it turned out looking the way that I wanted it to, so I'm very happy. Also, they've updated the game since this came out, so now you can put panels like that on the wall in these like giant swaths instead of having to do them all individually. And wow, that would have been handy before doing this build that is just paneling everywhere. So then I like hung an outdoor light and put some lanterns around. I tucked some gnomes back in the landscaping because I discovered that there are garden gnomes, and then I put a welcome mat that says Gnome Sweet Gnome because it's gnomes. They've got gnomes. I hung some lights, like some outdoor bulbs, on the wall out next to the fire pit, and then this is how all that turned out. So I did landscaping in the front. I've got my Gnome Sweet Gnome welcome mat, and back here we have just a nice little area where you could have friends over for a little campfire, have a pond with some gnomes around it that is visible from the kitchen window. Put a lilac bush over there because I love the smell. Have the hammock that you can chill in and drink your glass of family-friendly juice. Said I would so love to be able to visit this place as a rental cabin. Like it has very strong rental cabin feels to me. And then inside I have the living room with all of the plants, like all the plants in the world. I didn't put a TV because I figured if you're staying there for like a few days or whatever, you have books, you have outdoor activities, you'll be fine. Watch something on your phone if you're that desperate. But this is more of a screen getaway. I did wind up putting like a skull over the love seat because I wasn't sure what else to put there. I put one over the bed too. It's like, it is supposed to be a hunting cabin. So I love how cozy the kitchen turned out. Just, I'm not normally one for a lot of wood tones, but I feel like it really worked in this space, like for the specific look that I was going for. I did have an issue where one of the pantry items I'd put in, one of the custom content ones, was tagged for bunker, and so it turned the kitchen into a bunker, and I had to go in and sell some of the canned goods before I could sell the house as having a kitchen. Then in the bedroom we have the like dressing table area. There's the skull I was talking about and the Christmas rug, and just a nice big light bed with some nice little trinkets next to it. I do like that I was able to sneak an extra blanket under that nightstand. And then through here, the bathroom that I'm obsessed with. I love how that bathroom turned out. Again, it's so small, but it doesn't feel claustrophobic to me. It just feels all comfy. So yeah, I would so love that bathroom. Even though a lot of it is not like my personal style, I really enjoyed trying to match this style. Like, I love the challenge of trying to capture styles that aren't my own. And this is definitely the exact vibe that I was going for. I don't always do that well, but this time it turned out just right, and I'm so happy with that. So I did wind up auctioning the house off after I sold the canned goods that made it a bunker, and I only made a profit of like $3,000 off of it, but you know what? I like how it turned out. It was worth the effort, even just for that. Like, it's cute. I'm satisfied. So yeah, it would be nice if it had sold for a little more, but I like it. I'm happy. And it scratches that itch that I'd had after watching so many Scandi-noir shows and repeatedly seeing these little hunting cabins and stuff. I did try to negotiate, but apparently I went overboard, so they turned me down. It was a bummer, but oh well. I still made $3,000 in profit off of it. I'll accept that. So yeah, I'm still happy because my goal was just to match this aesthetic that I've been seeing and wanting to replicate, and I think I got it. I think I did. Um, the before and after pictures it took are not ideal. That one's really nice. But yeah, I'm happy with it, and I'm happy that I was able to like share it with everybody because I was really proud of it. So yeah, that's the house I built. And all of this was streamed live on my Twitch channel. So if you want to see all of the little clutter items and everything that I place and the whole brainstorming process of trying to match the different aesthetics that I pick out, then come join me live on Twitch. I'm there every weekday. And yeah, thank y'all so much for watching. I'm so glad you tuned in. And hopefully I'll see you again. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.